1970 was peak muscle with big cube V8 engines, high compression, and barely any tire trying to put it down. We are counting down the 7 fastest American cars from that year, ranked strictly by their best quarter-mile times as measured by Period magazine tests, with trap speed used as supporting context. Remember, elapsed times varied based on gearing, axle ratios, transmissions, tire grip, driver skill, and sometimes even ringer cars sent to the press. Let us kick off the countdown at number 7. Number 7 is the 1970 Oldsmobile 442 W30. It brings serious street muscle in a full-size package. Under the hood sits the 455 cubic inch W30, big block, factory rated at 370 horsepower, but best known for its earth-moving 500 pound-feet of torque. That torque hits early and hard, launching the nearly 3,600-pound A-body Olds out of the hole with authority, even on the era's bias-ply tires. In period tests, including Car Life's June 1970 run, the W30 recorded a 13.98-second quarter mile at 100.8 miles per hour. The W30 package added a hotter cam, aluminum intake, and tuned exhaust, giving it a real advantage off the line. While its curb weight kept the elapsed time just shy of the front runners, the Olds proved that a broad torque curve and smart gearing could deliver consistent, real-world speed, no matter what the badge claimed for peak horsepower. Number 6. The 1970 Buick GSX Stage 1 wears its intentions in bold stripes and a hood scoop that means business. Underneath, the 455 Stage 1 V8 is a torque monster, rated at 360 horsepower and delivering a staggering 510 pound-feet of torque. That mountain of mid-range pull is the GSX's secret weapon, and it shows in the numbers. Period tests, like CarCraft's August 1970 run, clocked the GSX Stage 1 at 14.00 seconds in the quarter mile, with a trap speed of 103 miles per hour, noticeably higher than its elapsed time would suggest. The Stage 1 package brought a hotter cam and improved intake breathing, letting the car surge past the competition once it was rolling. For a car tipping the scales at nearly 3,700 pounds, that kind of trap speed hints at real power hiding behind a conservative factory rating. The GSX proves that in 1970, torque and a well-tuned chassis could make a muscle car feel and run faster than the numbers on paper. Number 5. The 1970 Pontiac GTO Ram Air 4 takes a very different approach to quarter-mile speed. Instead of chasing the biggest displacement, Pontiac engineers built the Ram Air 4 as a high-winding 400 cubic inch V8 with a wild cam profile and aggressive induction. With a factory rating of 370 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque, the real secret was its ability to breathe at high RPM because of a 0.512-inch cam lift and functional Ram air ducting that forced cool air straight into the carburetor. On paper, it gives up size to the 455 and 454 cubic inch engines, but when the tachometer sweeps past 5,000, the Ram Air 4 comes alive. Car and Driver's April 1970 test clocked the GTO at 13.6 seconds in the quarter mile, trapping at 104.5 miles per hour, numbers that put it ahead of the big torque Buicks and Oldsmobiles. At around 3,650 pounds, the GTO was not the lightest, but its high RPM charge let it punch far above its weight. The Ram Air 4 marks the shift from pure torque monsters to high-revving, track-focused muscle, proving that in 1970, top-end breathing could steal the show. Number 4. The 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1 strips away the GSX's wild paint, but keeps all the firepower under the hood. With the same 455 cubic inch Stage 1 V8, factory rated at 360 horsepower and a crushing 510 pound-feet of torque, the GS weighs in lighter than its GSX sibling, tipping the scales around 3,550 pounds. That weight advantage, paired with smart gearing, makes a real difference where it counts. In a road and track test from October 1970, the GS 455 Stage 1 rocketed through the quarter mile in 13.38 seconds at 105.5 miles per hour. That's a serious leap ahead of the GSX, proving that less flash sometimes means more dash. The strong trap speed confirms this Buick wasn't just about low-end grunt, it was still pulling hard at the finish line. The GS 455 Stage 1 stands as a textbook case of how torque, gearing, and a lighter chassis can turn a sleeper into a quarter-mile threat, even when the engine specs are identical. Number 3. The 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6 stands as the brute force king of the muscle car era. Under the hood, the LS6 packs a 454 cubic inch V8 with an official rating of 450 horsepower, but period dynamometer estimates and magazine testers suspected the real output pushed closer to 500. The recipe was 11-to-1 compression, a big Holley 4-barrel carburetor, and an aggressive cam profile, all designed to deliver overwhelming instant power. Carcraft. May 1970 road tests clocked the LS6 at 13.12 seconds in the quarter mile, crossing the line at 107 miles per hour. That trap speed puts it right alongside the Hemi cars, confirming the Chevelle's monstrous power was not just hype. But the LS6's story is as much about what it could not do as what it could, namely put all that power to the ground. Bias ply street tires struggled for grip, and testers reported wheel spin well into second gear. On a perfect launch, the Chevelle was nearly untouchable, but more often, it was a battle between throttle and traction. The LS6 Chevelle defines the moment when horsepower outpaced tire technology, a factory legend that when it hooked up, could run with any Hemi on the strip. Number 2. The 1970 Dodge Challenger RT426 Hemi brought Mopar's most legendary engine into the new E-body chassis with a mix of brute force and engineering finesse. Under the hood, the 426 Hemi Vi 8, rated at 425 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, used hemispherical combustion chambers for unmatched airflow and top-end power. That design let the engine breathe deep and pull hard all the way through the quarter mile. In period tests, like Hot Rod's July 1970 run, the Challenger RT Hemi consistently clocked quarter-mile times in the low 13s. 13.3 seconds at around 106 miles per hour is a representative benchmark, with some magazine runs dipping slightly lower or higher depending on gearing, transmission, and track prep. At nearly 3,800 pounds, the Challenger was heavier than its Cuda sibling, but the Hemi's high RPM charge and massive torque made up for much of that mass, especially with the right launch and a 4-speed manual or torque flight automatic. The Challenger's quarter-mile performance proved that even with a slight weight penalty, the Hemi's engineering brilliance could push a street car deep into the 13s, an achievement few could match on bias ply tires in 1970. The Challenger RT Hemi stands as a testament to how airflow, gearing, and chassis balance can turn raw numbers into real-world speed, setting the stage for the even lighter Cuda waiting at the top. And finally, in first place, the 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda with the 426 Hemi engine stands as the undisputed king of the 1970 quarter mile. factory muscle did not get any more serious than this. The Hemi Cuda paired Chrysler's legendary 426 cubic inch Hemi V8, which was rated at 425 horsepower and a thundering 490 pound-feet of torque, with the lightest E-body chassis in the Mopar stable. Curb weight hovered around 3,600 pounds, giving the Hemi a crucial edge in the power-to-weight battle. But the real magic happened when the right combination of parts and conditions came together. Magazine testers, including Motor Trend in November 1970, wrung out a showroom stock Hemi Cuda with a 4-speed manual and a 3.91 or 4.10 rear axle ratio on a perfect day, cool air, a sticky track, and a driver who knew how to launch a bias ply car without overpowering the tires. The result was a 13.10-second quarter mile at 107 miles per hour. That is the fastest credible elapsed time published for any 1970 American car, and it is a number that left even seasoned testers shaking their heads. The Hemi's hemispherical combustion chambers and free-breathing design meant it pulled hard all the way through the traps, with the 107 miles per hour trap speed tying the Chevelle SS and the Challenger Hemi for top honors. But the Cuda's lighter chassis and optimal gearing let it get there first. This was not a hand-built ringer or a race-prepped special. It was just the right car, the right setup, and the right day. For a mass-produced street car on period tires, 13.10 seconds was almost mythical. The Hemi Cuda's dominance is the ultimate proof that in 1970, when torque, gearing, and traction all lined up, Detroit's best could deliver performance that still stuns half a century later. Across all 7 contenders, one truth stands. In 1970, torque and gearing, not just peak horsepower, decided real quarter-mile supremacy. These results, pulled straight from period tests, prove muscle car legends were built at the track, not on paper. Which one would you take to the strip? LS6 brutality or Hemi mystique?